So this is my little Olla garden. I'm gonna switch it out, connected to a tank right here, 250-gallon tank, something like that, via drip irrigation to these Ollas. So this was wrapped around the Olla. You can tell that right here, in this little spot right here where my thumb is at, it was curved right there on the bottom of the clay pot. And these roots on the right hand side, they were underneath the Olla, and the plant was growing up right here attached to this root system right here. It was coming up. This guy had a vigorous root system. Oh yeah, it's work, y'all. 3/4 inch swivel. That means that this thing kind of moves around independently of this part. That way you can get this in, you can get this in, no problem. We had an end cap and 1/4 inch shut-off valves all the way. The compost bins get sifted onto the back side, the sides, so we just scoop it up when we need it. So I'm emptying out the planters in the front yard onto this tarp, and then I'm throwing the sifted compost that goes through the wire for the chicken coop on top. So there's a lot of woody material in there, but what I'm gonna do, because this is all dry right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a batch of compost tea to hydrate this stuff with. Open this up. Yeah. So what you do is you wet it, and then you cover it up so it gets all super hot, and then all the weeds pop out. All the weeds pop out. Now I'm filling that molasses rice wash mixture, lactobacillus serum, aka homemade EM1, with Rainwater. I put maybe 4 tablespoons of soluble kelp in here as well. But this is a lot of free fertilizer here. I'm going to use this to expand coconut husk. So this is the coconut husk brick being expanded in the homemade lactobacillus, aka EM1 serum, with some soluble kelp meal. It's gonna pretty much hydrate with all this stuff. When it's to a point where I could break it up, I'm gonna break it up in here, and pretty much all that water is gonna soak into the coconut husk, and then I'm gonna throw it on the pile, and pretty much do this process until I get my potting mix to the consistency that I want in terms of the water retention.
I drunk.
Yes, you are.
What was he doing today? Is that another compost tea? Yeah. Hey. It's almost light. It's almost light.
Okay, so the clay pots are gonna get filled with potting mix. Around the clay pots, I'm gonna throw these rocks back in there, and that's gonna hold water. That's gonna keep the potting mix from going soggy and anaerobic It's also going to allow air to come in, and the clay pots are going to wick the water around themselves up because they're going to be submerged in water as we water these, and it drains down at the bottom. So that's how these guys work. The copper tube has a 45-degree cut in it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. That's a 45-degree cut in there to allow water to come in and out. And that's where it comes out. Side, the self-watering container sub-irrigated planter. I'm filling up the wicking chambers with potting mix. So what's going to happen is the potting mix is going to get hydrated because it's submerged in the water reservoir, and the rocks pretty much keep the potting mix from going anaerobic in the water reservoir. And the clay pots, since they're porous, they will allow water in to hydrate the potting mix, and then the water will wick up from the bottom. So that's how these systems work. That's why these systems save a lot of water, because when you water, the water you're using is going to collect on the bottom instead of draining out, and it's going to get reused another time. So you're getting efficiency out of one. You're basically going to use the maximum amount of water that you can use. You're going to lose the least amount to evapotranspiration. You have to mulch the tops really well and all that stuff. That's why these systems work really well in the desert. That's why they work really well with Ollas and with rainwater. So I'm gonna put this soil in there. It's looking really nice. Oh yeah. And I got it so that I have a clear pathway. Can walk right through there, no problem. Got all the overflows going into soil, and I fixed the mix so that it retains water really well. So this is ready to go. It might look dry on the top, but super moist, super moist. We did it. We got the blueberry garden going.